a brand new game just hit the market. It's called Highguard, and this is one of the worst video games I have played in a really long time. It was buggy, it was broken, the designs made no sense, the gameplay was awful, they threw too much at the wall, and yet every single time they missed the mark. Graphics are all right. I do think that visually it's got a little bit going for it in terms of the graphics, but the problem with that is that if you're not looking directly at something, it's sort of blurry in a way, or it's like it's downscaled. It's really weird. I can't quite say it's bad or awful, but it was all right. The aesthetic was awful. I don't know what they were thinking. You have a game that is set on these more fantasy-esque maps with lava and lightning and vortexes and castles, and yet you have guns and nukes and rocket launchers. I don't understand what they were going for with this fantasy yet tech idea. It was bad. I did not like it. It made no sense. They should have committed fully to one or committed fully to another. Also, yes, the resolution constantly switched when you were going from the menu into load screen into wait or into the game. So I think maybe that was another glitch. We'll add that to the list. But aesthetic was awful. Music was non-existent. There was maybe 2 different songs that lasted 20 seconds. There was the menu music that was looped. And then every time you spawned back in, and I suppose whenever you got a win or a loss, there was a tiny bit of music. Besides that, it didn't exist. It makes no sense either, because when you are out in the world and you are looting and doing all these things, they should have filler music. When you get shot at or you shoot your gun, it should stop for a couple of seconds, and that would make it so there's no music blaring and blasting into your ears when you're in a fight. Otherwise, there should be music, especially when you've got such a large maps, large enough to have mounts, and yet it's silence. It reminds me of Metroid Prime 4. We just have to use the amiibo card, guys. But music was, I guess I'll say, bad because there was none. Difficulty was not really existent. It's not that the game is hard. The problem is that it is hard to play the game because the gameplay sucks. The game itself is bad. Like, the gunplay does not feel good. The mounts, I suppose, are okay when you're not sliding across the ground. But who cares about the mounts? This isn't Need for Speed. You know, I'm here to shoot people. And it was bad. I suppose I'll put it in unfair, but when your gameplay sucks, the most important element of a game is bad, you know you're cooked. Boss fights, obviously, there's no boss fights. The only thing that I will put in boss fights is the way that the matches themselves are set up, where you have to get what is the equivalent of Excalibur, and you have to bring the sword to the wall in order to pierce the wall. The thing that I hate about this is it's so journo mode, because if you simply pick up the sword and you hold it for, I would say, roughly 2 minutes, it automatically completes it for you, and then it just has you win, and it will like auto teleport it to the wall and then unlock the wall or break the wall. It should just be, if you don't bring it there in the 2 minutes, it resets or it goes to a different location on the map. Don't know what they were thinking, except for journo mode. Bugs, oh my god. There were so many problems. There were times where my mount would get stuck in the ground. There would be times where I couldn't actually use a button command and play the way that I wanted to. And then my first match, the game crashed. And then I get back into the game and it gives me a penalty. And then later on in the game, it happened again where I disconnected, the game kicked me out, it broke, it crashed, and then I am penalized for it. That is terrible. Also, the game itself feels like it is an extremely alpha game. It feels like it needed another 1.5 to 2 years in development. Lots of bugs, game-breaking bugs. Absolutely atrocious. Hated it. I would not recommend it. Story, non-existent. Gameplay, sleep-inducing. It is insane to me that they put literally every video game system in the history of video games into this game, and it was still boring. You had storms, you had wall breaking, you had planting the bombs like search and destroy, you had guns, you had melee, you had resource collecting, you had base building, you had base fortification, and you had these mounts, and yet it's still bad. I wanted to fall asleep after 2 matches. Not good. Sleep-inducing, frustrating, boring, awful, bad. Quality of life, I'm gonna go missing lots of features because fuck this game. You're not getting anything good from me. I obviously only played, I'd say like 4 hours after all the bugs and the issues. Don't waste your time. This is a free game and I feel scammed. Price quality, not worth downloading. Not worth taking your time. Replayability. After 1 match, you know what you're getting. I suppose you could say 5 matches because there's 5 maps. But after that, you know what the game is. You've seen all the weapons after 2 matches. You've seen all the little areas and the little gameplay systems after 2 matches. Most of the heroes suck. Not even a single playthrough. I hated this. I've given a lot of games really bad scores. This game felt undercooked. It felt like they threw so much at the wall, and they didn't flesh out any of these systems really well. The only little bit of enjoyment I got from this game was the audience, was because you guys played it with me, and you were here and you were hanging out. It is god-awful, and it is crazy to me that Jeff Keighley and their retard Game Awards team thought to themselves, ah, yes, we should put this in the last place, instead of Mega Man or Fate of the Old Republic or basically anything else. This is a awful game, a terrible game, and I don't really know what they were thinking. Clearly, they weren't thinking that much. And even EA doesn't want to be affiliated with this game because they made them take from the creators of Apex Legends and Titanfall off of the Steam storefront, so they couldn't even market it with the developer's past history. Concord developers were brought onto this game and worked on this game. You can fucking tell. This game sucked. Highly recommend you guys stay away from it. You don't put any time into it. Don't download it. Awful. Terrible. Optimization sucks. Across the board. Terrible.